Hello and welcome to the Rag Company podcast. With me today, it's a detox cast. So we got some detailing industry folks with us who are not our normal cast. And I think you
I'm
might
here. Oh wait,
wait,
I'm part of the
Levi, get
cast.
out of here.
I think you might recognize a voice. Would you care to introduce yourself, sir?
Hey, my name is Matt Mormon, and Obsessed Garage. If you're watching the video, I've got a
And
hat
there
on.
it is.
Yeah, we got him
All
all
right.
the way from Florida, come all the way up here to the mountains.
The high desert where he's
It's-
drying out.
It's a bit of a hike, but we appreciate you coming up our way.
It's what 2,300 miles, something like that.
Yeah,
so,
not too
yeah,
bad.
Yeah.
Little jaunt.
It's a decent trip, but you're out here because you were out here for another event, or at least on this side of the country, right, for something else, and then this was a short pit stop. So where were you prior to being here?
I have a Raptor. I actually have a Gen 1 and a Gen 2 Raptor, and with the Gen 2 Raptor, they invite you to go to the Raptor Assault.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the GT350 driving experience or something like that,
Yeah.
and then they do RS as the Focus RS, the Focus ST, and then they do the Raptor experience, which was pretty gnarly, man.
Yeah.
I'm
You
still.
want to tell
recovering.
us about it, like for people that don't know what goes on in those kind of events?
Obviously, the Raptor's capable, right? Much
Yeah.
more capable than me, and so they want to acclimate you to the capabilities of the truck,
Yeah.
right? And so we're on a 30-degree berm sideways where they're basically they have you stop and then they pull on the truck. You're sitting, you feel like you're gonna fall over and tip
Like
over.
it's gonna tip over.
And then they teach you left foot braking and how to work your way up a steep incline, and then you go out into the wilderness. We climbed to 8,000 feet. It was,
Ooh.
which
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
definitely afraid of heights.
Yeah.
Well, and
One of my many afflictions.
what's cool is that they actually, most people think it's just like a desert pre-running truck, and that the
Right.
suspension can do that. But they actually took you
Yeah, there's
to do some
travel.
rock
Yeah,
crawling and stuff with it, basically.
I mean they show you what all the different modes. Like obviously everybody thinks Baja high speed jumping
Yeah.
stuff.
Sure, yeah.
But because of the long wheelbase, I mean the truck is not the best rock crawler. But I mean we're climbing 15, 18, 20 degree mountains. Inclines. It was snaking up the hills, and that's the part that
Yeah.
I
Well,
could have.
yeah, and it's
when
not
I'm doing it, I want to go home.
It's not a small vehicle, so you're
Right.
feeling all that motion and everything pretty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is it nice to know that your vehicles at home can do these things?
I don't give a crap. I just think it looks sweet.
It looks cool in pictures.
I take a lot of flack for that because I'm a self-proclaimed poser, right? I just like the truck. I like my GT3 RS because it's freaking cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the track and drive
Yeah.
it the way it's intended, but I want to shine it up with a microfiber diaper from the Rag Company.
That's right.
and just look at it.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, that's cool that you're able to go out and do that. I'm sure you have a ton of video that you took while you were out there doing that, right? And
Yeah.
you have some stuff that's going to be going up on the channel, which should
Yep.
be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there aren't very many other than like the produced Ford video. There really isn't any.
Experience.
Yeah, and so
Videos.
I guess I'm going to be marketing for them.
Oh,
Maybe,
yeah.
maybe they'll start paying me someday.
Maybe they'll send you another Raptor.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I suspect that's not going to happen.
So that's pretty cool. So this was a short pit stop on your way back. So you're here for a day and a half.
Yep.
So we're going to be doing probably a podcast, maybe 2 podcasts, a couple of videos, and maybe a detox in here in the future, and some fun stuff. So it's nice
Yeah,
to have
we're
you in town
excited.
and show you around the facility, because this is your first time out in Idaho in general.
Yep.
Okay.
No, actually, I had a client here from my wealth management from 10 years ago. She died a few years ago, but I'd been here once before. It's such a neat town,
Yeah.
It's everything. The only first thing that comes to mind is just clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very
It's just
clean here.
Clean,
Yeah.
Salt Lake was that way too.
Yeah.
Other than all the massive multi-level marketing that goes on there, it's like the multi-level marketing mecca of the
They're
world.
like, don't call it a pyramid scheme.
It
They're-
Yeah.
bled over the border a little bit here, but for the most part,
still
it's
have
kept
it. Yeah.
in there.
Right,
we
right.
got it, but it's not.
Every
quite
once in a while,
as-
there's that person that calls you and goes, So just want to know if you guys wanted to come over for dinner. I've got a bunch of people coming over for
We're
dinner. You're
having
like,
a party. No,
we're having a party,
I
but
don't
we're
want
going
any
to
part
talk
of that.
about how you can make more money from home. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not interested. Thanks.
No,
Appreciate it.
thank you. Like,
Nope,
you can
nope,
make an
nope.
extra $10,000 per month. I'm like, really?
I don't
You
think
could,
An
that's
but you
true.
extra
won't.
$10,000 per month?
Getting my
Yeah.
downline. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Exactly. No, it's so no, Boise's really clean. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of really cool areas for people that enjoy driving, right? Like, so let's just say you don't want to go take your Raptor up rock crawling. I mean, you can do that here, but we also have some really cool like twisty roads and mountain roads that are really
Yeah.
cool to drive on. And
Someday I'll have to ship my car out here and
Yeah.
you know,
We'll
Good
take
to-
you up in the
go do
mountains.
it.
We'd film that.
take it for a rip. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. I like it because it has a very home feel.
Well,
to
and like
this place.
what's coming up next month, the Road Rally, Sun Valley Road
Yeah.
Rally. That's a really neat event because you can bring your car up.
Mm-hmm.
You can come to the event, and literally they spend the first part of the day in the parking lot at this Ford dealership, just tech inspection. So everything that's going to run at the Road Rally is teched in, but then everybody takes their cars and goes and drives like for the day because the event doesn't start till the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And that night there's like a big parking lot car show and party. But the day before, everybody just takes their cars and goes, you'll get dudes running through the canyons and there's 3 Lamborghinis and 4 Porsches and,
yeah,
a couple
well,
Ferraris or something cool like a Ford GT or,
mhm.
there's it's some fun stuff. So when we went last year, like it was just car spotting.
Well, the car show's cool because it brings out a big diversity of
Yeah.
stuff. You see everything from like a Morgan 3-wheeler all the way up to,
Mm-hmm.
Koenigsegg some years. So
Yeah.
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 See, I'm such a weird dude because, I go to car shows and then I end up just wanting to be in my own car.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yep.
I don't know. I have this weird thing where I just I'd see a Ferrari just walk right past it.
Yeah.
What I'm looking at is I'm looking at the paint condition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or I'm interested in how the person's when they first get there and what they do.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you guys all
Oh
think
yeah,
of that
yeah.
too.
We people watch
yeah.
all the time. That's
Right.
like the best part about going to car shows.
That's
Yeah.
fun.
It's the same thing, when I come here, like, no offense to you guys, but I want to see how you guys ship the stuff.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the darn packing tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And-
this looks awesome.
I'm like, Jeff, how do you guys get stuff to Amazon? Like, I'm just fascinated by that. I mean,
Yeah,
call me a
it's-
weirdo, but
No, but a lot of people don't see that. They just get their towel and they're like, cool, thanks. But they don't understand, like, we literally have a container showing up every week.
yeah,
And for us, we look at it and go, we don't have, like, we start counting the towels and, like, what's coming down the line and what we're filling up. And so, like Jeff said, like, that container today, literally 50% of it's already sold and is getting shipped out today. It's getting shipped back out. But we have containers showing up that are back to back that product's not sold. And we're like, oh, that'll fill up these stacks. Then the next one will fill up these stacks. We're going to run out of room
It's never enough
at some
though.
point. Yeah.
Well, the inner workings of how things are done, whether it's the production of the towel, the how do you guys curate the towels? How do you get the towels here, and then which towel is for what application? And then, like, we have one sitting here on the table that
Yeah, it's a
what-
prototype.
what could we use this for? I mean, that stuff just fascinates me, and I think that's my spot in this world.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. I mean, I like my GT3 RS, but I'm more interested in the specification of the GT3 RS and the care for it than I am in the pushing it to the limits. And same thing with a towel. Like we were talking about this earlier. I was joking. I don't even want to use the towel. I just want to look at it. I want to
Yeah.
vet it.
Yeah.
I want to test it.
Well,
I want
and-
to try it, and then I want to put it on the shelf and look at it.
Well, and that's like we touch so many towels. Like that's literally all we touch all day is towels. So like we become towel snobs to people because
Yeah.
we'll touch something and I'm like, wow. Or I'll see someone using a towel and I'm like, oh my gosh, like why did you spend money on those? Like I can get you something way better.
But
or
to
I
them,
can
it's
go,
perfectly good
but to
because they
them
don't
it's
know any better.
Yeah, and so it's a weird, like I joke.
That's what I'm attempting to teach people. It's a little different for you guys because I'm sort of disinterested, if you will.
Yeah,
And I've chosen to use your towels because I love them, and so you guys, although you're unbiased and you're teaching people, I think what Obsessed Garage is and what the advantage that I have is that I can sort of have an unbiased,
Yeah.
if you will,
Yep.
opinion
Yeah.
of I guess there's always going to be some bias.
Yeah.
But I'm sharing my experience with products, and then hopefully, like, coming here now, I'm sharing my experience with the people behind the product. That's again just so fascinating to me. How are you guys distributing it? First of all, how are you getting it? What are you doing with it when you get it? How are you testing it and making sure that it gets to me and is quality? And like Jeff is showing us the stitching and how it's different, and all that tech, all that stuff is super.
Well, yeah, and
interesting
like
to me.
we do that with this kind of stuff. So we get a sample or something, and we look and we're like, we don't like this lining,
Right.
and so what can we do to change that? What can we fix? Maybe this opening doesn't fit our hand well enough, so we
And then
go
dealing
through
with the
stuff.
logistics of you can't just go in the back room and fix it. You got to deal with someone halfway across.
Yeah,
the
we do,
world.
literally. And so, like, we'll do Skype calls here. We'll do stuff where we show them, or like, hey, see this part, we want to change this, or we'll cut this, or, it's getting to the point the company's big enough. Jeff's going to have to start making some trips to the factory more often to just stay on top of them. And he understands it. He's not looking forward to it because it's a long journey.
I guess the next hires will be somebody that speaks Chinese and then someone speaks Korean. Right?
Yeah, basically, that can then come over and do that. And maybe
Bilingual.
we'll just put them on the plane and let them fly. But it's just like literally there's so many products. We have 150 different products basically. And so we're always trying to either make sure the quality is there, or we're always going to try and reinvent it. And so even things as basic as, like we said, right before SEMA, we did a big, we've been working for 18 months trying to figure out how to reinvent our Eagle Edgeless. And that's a towel that is considered the most copied towel on the planet. Every other towel manufacturer has made a version of our towel.
Yeah.
And so how do we make it stand out amongst others to show that it's a redesign, two, it's the same towel that everybody knows and loves, that we don't lose that feeling, but then we also need to improve on that. And we need to make it better, softer, fluffier, more absorbent.
That's always a dangerous proposition, changing your best product.
Yep. Well, and our Dry Me a River series waffle weaves, they've been a phenomenal, solid workhorse towel for years. And we just went through and did a redesign on the waffle, and so
I think that's why I like you guys. I mean, that's my entire MO in this world, is to continue to pursue I coined it functional excellence.
Yeah.
Right? There's no such thing as perfection. And if you chase perfectionism, you'll just be a mess, right?
Yeah.
You'll always constantly be anxious and never satisfied. But to me, the pursuit of being functionally excellent is just fun.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable if you take it as that, and that's what you guys do. That's why part of the reason why I'm here.
Yeah.
Well, we try to have fun, and we try to make microfiber towels fun. I don't know how else to describe it, but everything from the names to the colors to the styles, and then how we market them and stuff like that. We try to make towels fun and cool, but we're always striving to make something just better than what it was previously, if we can, if the option is there. And because let's just say, we have the Dry Me a River, which was a great towel, right? It had the silk banded edge. It was a great towel, and it can take a beating. It can last for years, right? But if we can get it to last maybe a little bit longer, if we can change the edging, make it a little bit safer, make the pile a little bit more dense, make the pockets smaller, and to where you're getting a better,
make the fiber softer,
more absorbent, and a softer fiber. Like if we can do that and just make these small changes over time and just evolve with how with microfiber in general
and the technology,
then like that, if we can just do that, I mean, we're so happy.
But think about the logistics behind all of that, right? So so first you have to figure out what you want, right?
Yep.
And then you have to go to the manufacturer, and they can tell you what they can do, and then they create a prototype and send it to you. I'm like, no, this sucks. Let's redo it. And then
we did that with the pad. You called us and said, "This is what I'd like. This is what I want to do."
I'm freaking sort of hacking it up.
And so we reached out and said, "We need to make some of these," and we had to place an order. So we thought, well, we'll sell them. It's fine.
Yeah.
So then we sent you one, and you did the same thing. You cut it up, you played with it, you messed around with it.
And I love that I can tell you guys the truth. So that freaking sucks. I hate it. And nobody gets their feeling. You're like, awesome. Now I know what to do.
It's a process, and it's like
Yeah.
this. Like I could have sent this to you and been like, "All right, here you go, man. What are you
Right.
gonna do with it?" And you're like, "I don't know. I'll figure it out."
Well,
But
it's worse to be the guy in the
it's-
room. Everybody's talking behind their back, like, "Man, that thing sucks," but they won't tell the guy to his face, and then you just never know, and you just keep going about your business like you're
Well,
great
you,
and you're
you
fine.
guys know old Maddie's
Yeah.
not going to do that to
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You,
No,
you
but
let
it's-
us know.
but it's good because we could, like I said, everything's a process. So like even that cyclone pad, we're still continuing to
Yeah,
change.
you have to.
We're
right.
taking in your inputs. We're figuring out what our factories can do, but we also need to make it different from everybody else's. So
Yeah.
we can't keep it the same.
Because frankly,
You
there's
know.
a few out there you don't want to.
Well, and that's hard too. Is it
Yeah.
you know it's the name of the game. Is there's always going to be that copy because there are no copyrights in
No.
microfiber. There's no we are allowed color and what's the big blends.
Right.
So if it's we can say we have this towel as an orange 500 70/30.
Yeah, but then someone
know.
will make a $4.99,
Right.
70,
Someone
Yeah.
can make a
71,
$4.99 in a different
29,
color.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, is it better? Like,
Right.
so we can only do what we can, and we can and so our goal is to always continue to make those
Well,
products that are ours better
And what
than
you guys are
everybody else's.
building, you're building a brand, right? And so that people will buy the brand, and then they'll be, a lot of times people will tend to be loyal to the brand,
Yep.
even if the product isn't the best, as long as it's extremely good.
Yeah.
A lot of times you won't lose those people as long as you continue, and that's what your job, the three of you, is
Yep.
to be the
Yeah.
brand, build the brand, be the brand, and make sure that people. It's sort of what I'm
Yep.
accidentally started doing with my story and Obsessed Garage. It's kind of happened where I'm
Yeah.
building a brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's becoming a very big brand.
Well, we'll see. Yeah.
Well,
It's a
now you got
full-time
your
job
Yeah.
now.
Well, now the OG, you've got the headquarters almost completely ready.
Yeah. Well,
mean,
the
it's-
problem is by the time I get it done,
You're going to need more. Yeah, I know. Well, that's how.
Hopefully,
Well, we moved in so this was a garage company, and then moved to a small. What was that first location?
It was
It
think like a little strip in a plaza.
was like 3,000 square feet or something. You guys
Wasn't
moved
huge. Yeah.
from 1,000 square feet to 3,000, and then
Yeah.
instantly that next month, your dad knocked out the wall next door and
Yeah,
rented
we
the
took
place
over the
next
place
door,
next door.
and became a 6,000 square foot
So
facility.
when was that?
That was back
a couple years ago.
2014,
Yeah.
late 2014.
2014, you guys were there until 2016?
Yeah, moved in December
Thereabouts.
2016 into here.
So you've only been here for a couple of years.
In this building, we've been here for about
Year
18
and a
months.
half.
Yeah, it was basically
Oh, okay.
John, myself, my parents. We all came over here that summer while we still had the other place, and we just cleaned this whole place up. It had been empty for about 4 years.
So in 2014, how many
Cobwebs
people
and-
did you have?
We've grown
Six?
a lot. Yeah, we had
6
like
or 7.
Six, including the owners, I think.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then where we're at now.
Yeah. So it was always it had started as it was always a mom and pop. They ran it out of their garage. This elderly couple. They had some large accounts, some great accounts, but they've been doing microfiber since 1999.
And they deliberately kept it small because they just wanted to be able to manage it
But
themselves.
it was janitorial type.
A lot of janitorial, some detailing, and
the
some health
focus.
and beauty and spa
Yeah.
stuff.
Mhm.
But they had a small group of everything. And then Jeff and Carolyn bought the company because Bev had gotten sick and had to be going to
she couldn't run
hospice.
things anymore.
So she couldn't do it, and her husband
Mhm.
was left by himself to do this stuff, and so it just wasn't going to work. None of their family, grandkids, any of that wanted the company. So then,
They just saw a garage business. They thought, I don't want any part of
yeah.
that.
So then Jeff and
doesn't sound
Carolyn bought
fun.
it. Dane came on as the first employee.
I quit my full-time job with benefits to go work in a garage.
Yeah, and that was in 2011, and
So was
they
there
grew
a
2012, but yeah,
2012.
yeah.
But
so was there a website that they had or anything?
yeah,
Yeah,
Dane,
yeah.
yeah.
It was I
Very bare
had
bones,
to
yeah.
redesign our website.
And what was
do
it
the-
called?
It was called the Rag Company.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
existed as the Rag
So
Company.
it's always existed as the
So
Rag
was
Company.
Junkman after, or was he already?
That was after. So basically,
guys
he
did Junkman.
found our towels. Like we didn't know anything about him, but
Yeah.
oh yeah. So sorry, just getting a note on the screen. We may have to cut out, and we'll be back in a little bit. But for right now, basically with the Junkman thing, that was right around 2014. So I received a phone call from a guy who said, "Oh, I'm kind of big online. I have a following, and I happen to have bought your towels, and I'm really liking them. I'm going to make a video about it. And just so you know, oftentimes what happens is if I put out a video about a product I like, it sells out. So I'm just trying to give you guys a warning." And we're kind of going, okay, sure, it's like a
Who's
prank
this guy?
call
What's
or
going
what's
on?
the like I don't know who this is or anything about this, because we were unfamiliar with the whole landscape. We were still learning microfiber, detailing, all that stuff. And sure enough, as soon as his video went out talking about the Rag Company, it's where I get my microfiber, we just started
It went like wildfire.
exploding towels, just nuts. And we had to we hired like 2 or 3 more people, like family, friends, like, get in here, we need help. So it basically, the Eagle Edgeless really took off there, and that's kind of the first catalyst of many that kind of helped get things moving so we could eventually get out of the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I don't know when I discovered it, but I discovered...
Well, you had been buying from us for a while before you made any kind of big deal of
We
it.
can go back and look at all your orders if you
Well,
want.
I remember seeing you order.
I
yeah.
started making videos in August of 2014, around the same time we're talking about. That's when I went crazy and started making videos, and then that's when people started like telling me, you need to check this out or check that out, and so they suggested, well, you need to look at, and I'd been buying towels from Detailer's Domain, which are microfiber tech, now auto fiber towels, and I started to get some linting, and so this was probably 2015. And then I just started buying, like, what my whole MO has always been is like I just go on a website and just buy one of everything.
Yeah.
And I've done it with lots of different products. And microfiber's tricky because there's a lot of companies out there. There's a lot of towels.
Yeah.
Let's say
ranging
it's a
from
lot of diversity there.
yeah,
so.
really expensive to and I find myself I'd buy like I don't know how many towels you guys had at the time, probably 35 different towels, and I bought one of every one of them. And then I started using, them in combination with auto fiber, and then some Griot's towels, which wherever they get their towels, and some Adams towels, and I had this combo of stuff. And then I guess it was probably 2015, late 2015, when I just decided, look, I like the Rag Company towels the best. I just started using them exclusively, and then that's when I called you guys and said, hey, I'm onto something here. Actually, no.
We met.
Yeah, I was standing in line at Detail Fest in 2016.
We were at Mobile Tech.
Tech, yeah.
I was there with you.
I was standing in line. And
you were
then
standing in line in front of... Jeff was standing in front of you.
Yeah. And then, we just, I don't know, just started talking. And then I was like, oh, dude, I need to talk to you.
Yeah, we got to hang out.
And then he's like, you got to meet Levi. I just hired this guy. And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Well, I was always fascinated by your whole setup, like before you went setting up the store and all that stuff. You had your website, really nice to look at website, really nice to navigate. And this was kind of my thing, was since I was designing our website and stuff, I would always look and see where our traffic was coming from, and I'd find this Obsessed Garage domain kept sending traffic our way, and I'm like, who's buying stuff? So I went and looked. And, of course, I see, like, our navy blue waffles listed on your site. And I'm like, it looks like a store, but it's not a store. It's just he's just listing what he uses, but it looks so nice. Like, he put a lot of care and effort in how this
Well, that's because everybody
presents.
told me there's no margins in it. And I'm a financial advisor making a bunch of money, and I didn't need it. And I think that's probably why Obsessed Garage worked, is that I didn't have an agenda.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just kind of doing me. And the reason why I built ObsessedGarage.com, I built it myself. I got a buddy set up a template, and then I just went with it on WordPress. And the key was to take good photos and then write the description from my vantage point. And I was just sending links, to different places. And here's where you'll go get it. And that's how I did it.
Was that more for the people that were following you? Or
Yeah,
was
because
that
they're driving me freaking crazy about every video. You need to make a listing. I'm like, I don't have time for that.
Yeah. Show
Go
us everything you use.
I just got you 95% of the way there. Go figure it out. I mean,
That's the story of everybody's life on YouTube or whatever.
And then I finally dropped that attitude. I'm like, wait a minute, people are telling me what they want.
Yeah.
They want me to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And then they want me to ultimately offer it to them.
Yeah, it works because of that. Because you're so truthful, you're so open with it.
I was fighting it.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
I mean,
I don't want to. Don't stop wasting my time. I don't.
But
But
that's how we market this company.
Yeah.
We're all new in this. Like,
Yeah.
there are no rules in how you want to market a business.
everybody assumes you've been doing it forever.
Yeah, and it's for us. It's we do like what you say. We do us. Like, it's just.
We all
This
have
is how
different
we are.
backgrounds. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, the one thing you're not new at is detailing. You've been doing detailing for a long period of time.
no,
but when
it's
it comes to
20
like
years,
sales
right?
and all
20
that
years.
kind of stuff,
Don't know if anybody heard
that's
that.
all
I've detailed
very
for
new
over
to us.
20
So
years.
we didn't have the mindset of somebody who's already been doing sales for a long time. So the way we approached it may have been a little different because we weren't coming at it with the usual tools people who've been doing a lot of studying
and we're not salesmen.
may use. So maybe that was a good thing. Maybe that was a bad thing. Maybe it took us longer than it could have if we knew those things. But at the same time, I felt like because it was an organic growth, it actually benefited us in the long run.
How did this happen? I've taken over your podcast. I'm interviewing you.
Hey, no, this is fun. Like we actually haven't gotten into this subject too deep before on the podcast. So that's cool.
But basically going back to the story of the growth, we had that place. That's when Anthony and I found the Rag Company because I was doing the same thing. I was looking for towels, and I got tired of scratching cars when I was polishing them, and so I found Microfiber Tech, I found Microfiber Madness, and I found the Rag Company. And those were the three major producers of microfiber that I found. And I was like, and Brian Guy in Florida is the one that he had a picture of an eagle and he had sent it. And I was like, where'd you get that towel? And he's like, oh, it's a company called the Rag
Because
Company.
before that, you would buy from Griots or Adams or Auto Geek, or you'd be buying whatever.
The big detail house kind of.
Yeah, you'd buy those and you just get a towel from.
Places.
I remember like Worth. The company Worth, Germany.
WURTH.
They were like, hey, we've got these microfiber towels. And I was like, well, these are way nicer than the Costco towels. These are cool, but they were still expensive, and they weren't really. They were just an all-purpose Terry 80/20 320 GSM. There was nothing different than normal. So I started looking, and that's how I met. I was like, hold on a second, Rag Company's in Boise. Like,
you saw that picture.
I better go down there and find it.
Roof.
Yeah, and so I emailed Jeff, and he's like, come on down. I'd love to talk to you. That's how Jeff and I became friends, and we just started talking. Same with Anthony.
Yeah.
You like taking care of, you were like, oh.
I came at it like from more of like the hobbyist perspective, and I mean, I guess you can say I was kind of spoiled that the Rag Company was here locally because when I bought my first, cool car, the car I wanted to start taking care of, and started Googling things and doing research on how to, properly detail and how to maintain things. And I remember that, Dane was a part of our we had a local forum for it's called Idaho Motorsports. It's where all the local car guys, it was a forum. So it was back when forums were a cool thing. And Dane would post on there all the time saying, oh, the Rag Company's having a sale this weekend. And I always thought it was just some guy making posts for a remote website, and I was like, I didn't think there was any connection there.
Yeah, that or I'm selling them out of the back of my truck.
I thought it was just some Chinese place that.
And so I didn't know much about it. And I saw him posting all this stuff all the time. Like, I don't really know a whole lot about that. And then then I started watching more videos on YouTube, and then I see that the Junk Man makes a video, and he talks about the Eagle Edgeless, and he's like in Boise, Idaho. I'm like, wait. What's going on right now? I'm like, so I Google it because I thought it was literally just a website somewhere. I didn't know that was
I remember looking just
here.
on the website.
So
our name is kind of generic, but also tongue-in-cheek, kind of on purpose.
Yeah. And so I went down and I bought, it was so funny because I bought all sorts of different towels. I bought, Edgeless 365s. I bought the first version of the Drymere River Juniors and all this different stuff. And I was just absolutely in love. And it was funny because my dad runs a window cleaning business on the side. It's like his side gig that he has. And I remember going up to him saying, hey, I found all this awesome microfiber, right? This could be used for windows. And he looks at me, he's like, son, I've been buying stuff from their garage for the last 2 years. I used to go to their house. And I'm like, so you're telling me out of all this time, you never told me there was a company that had, awesome detailing products.
Down the street.
And that's when
basically.
that's when I started showing up. Every couple months I would come down and pick up more towels, buy new product. That's where I tried O&R for the first time. And it was kind of that was the end of it from there, and it was funny because watching this company grow. At the time, I was working. I was doing promotions and merchandising for bodybuilding.com, and so I was working there for 4.5 years. And I saw this company, growing and how much fun it was, and everything that I liked about it. I was always told myself that if I couldn't work where I was working now, that's exactly where I would go. I would go with them because that was awesome. And
then the universe said, sure thing, Anthony.
And the universe said, sure thing. And then here I am.
And it laid you off.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Eventually
how
our customers all become employees. I think that's how it works.
Well, and that was me. Like Jeff and I just started a rapport, and he started asking questions. He's like, I don't have anybody to ask these questions to. And so we just started going back and forth. And then, we were doing videos together and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it just came to a point where he's like, I just need you here all the time. So, but yeah, no, it's fun how you all kind of, I don't know, we find it, so to speak.
Yeah.
But
It's been an evolution.
Drawn to, I think we're drawn to the logo, Dane, or something
Hey,
like that. I don't know what it is.
thanks.
We're drawn to something about this
Yeah.
company.
but
Yeah.
let's pause it right there.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
we've got some stuff to do. We'll be back in a few.
What happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.